Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. Today I'm going to go over the things I carried when I was in Iraq in the United States Marine Corps. So much is made of survival nowadays. People think they have to carry a million different things, but in reality it's 2023, almost 2024, and most of the basic items are going to be easily found no matter where you go. Okay, we were in the middle of nowhere, Iraq, and I could find water, shelter, fire. I could keep warm, I could keep cold. Just in today's society, you don't need to think about bare bones frontiersman style survivorship. So with that started, the one thing you always have on you as a Marine is a cover. Okay, you'll see almost every military in the United States, almost every military branch in the world has some kind of cover. And what it does is it protects your head from the sun, from the elements. It can help protect your eyes from any kind of sun rays. Also, I use it mainly, if I'm out in the woods, if I'm hunting. When I was in Iraq, I use it to nap. I just put it over my eyes like this. Gives me a little bit of shade and helps me fall asleep. The cool thing about a cover, here's one for example, it can be used as a container. Now, on the rifle range back in my day, after you shoot hundreds of rounds, and there could be 100 people there shooting hundreds of rounds, you have to pick up all the spent casings or the brass. How did people pick them up? They put them in their cover. Now, is it dangerous to put stuff that contains lead on top of your head? Probably. Who cares? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. In a survival situation, you could put your tinder in it when you're taking things out of your pack that you don't want to lose. Here's a container that you can easily contain things. So anytime you're going to the woods, anytime that you're going to make some kind of trip somewhere, bring a hat, bring a cover. It's good to go. Second thing that we always had was a belt. A lot of people go outside in life without a belt. Well, a belt can be used for multiple things. I went through a CPR course when I was in the Marine Corps where they showed us how to use a belt as a tourniquet. It could potentially save somebody's life. Thank God I didn't have to use it, but it's something. You can also use it as cordage. You can use it to secure things to other things. So belts are an item that if you're gonna go out somewhere, I always have one on me. And it kept my pants up, so that's an added bonus. Let's talk about clothing. So in the military, you're issued something like this. Now this is kind of old school. This is when I first went in. As you see, it has multiple pockets. The new ones have pockets up here, pockets here. Some of the old ones even had like this. Pockets down there. Long sleeves make a difference. Whether you're in a jungle environment, a desert environment, a cold environment, long sleeves make a difference because it protects your skin. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to harden your forearm skin. So if you scrape up against something, you get cut. Well, if you get cut, it can get infected, you can bleed out, you can get sick, you can get staph infections. A million things can happen. So a long sleeve shirt, big deal. Having different pockets, big deal. Did I keep anything hard in my pockets? Absolutely not, because I'd have to get in the prone position anytime we got attacked, lay down on the ground, get in the prone position. Anything that was in these pockets are gonna hurt me. Cargo pants, military wears cargo pants where you have two front pockets, two rear pockets, cargo pockets on the side. Never really had much in my front pockets. On the cargo pockets, always had an MRE or some kind of part of the MRE for a snack. If you keep things in your front pocket and you go to the prone position or you have to run and jump and get down, they will poke into you and it will hurt and your day will be over. So that's clothing. Always dress appropriate. We always dressed appropriate depending on weather. When it was summertime, Marine Corps, we could actually roll our sleeves up. Other branches, not sure if they did that. So the cool stuff, what I carried. I carried an M203. I don't have it right now, but it's an M16 with a grenade launcher on it. We always carried 6 magazines. Those magazines were 30 round capacity. We only filled them up basically with 28. The reason is you put tension under that spring, sometimes it doesn't work. I kept them in this ammo pouch that I bought. It's a Spec Ops ammo pouch or regular day pouch. Nice and big, sturdy, MOLLE webbing, hasn't failed me. I still use it to go out hiking today. So I kept that right on my flak jacket and my 203 rounds. 203 round is basically a mini grenade. So I have an M16 203 Predator style, ultimate badass. Tools. I carried this. One hand opening Gerber multi-tool. I think it's the GP600. I really very rarely use anything other than the pliers and the knife. Maybe the screwdriver a couple different times. When you're in the Marine Corps, one of our sayings is adapt, improvise, and overcome, or improvise, adapt, overcome. One-handed opening. This was the fidget before a fidget was around. I used to just sit there for hours, click it. When I would search vehicles and people, and that's basically what I did for 9 months, is search thousands of vehicles and people. I'd whip this out. I'd have my 203 slung behind me, whip this out, and they would know I'm doing business. I can cut wire with it. I can open things. I can touch things I don't want to touch. A lot of these people never showered. A lot of these vehicles were absolutely disgusting. And I did use the serrated blade, not this exact one, but a serrated blade to cut open seats, and I found contraband in there. So Gerber multi-tool. Remember, you're not Rambo. You don't need a Rambo knife. It's very rare that you ever need a fixed blade knife if you're in the military, other than possibly a bayonet. And a bayonet is a knife designed to go on the M16 and a stabbing weapon to kill people. In my wallet, I carried a nice sturdy wallet. I always kept extra Band-Aids. Quick, easy deployable. We always had 100-mile-per-hour tape or duct tape around, but having a Band-Aid, you cut your little finger, you put it on, you're good to go. You quit crying, you get back to the fight. Knives. This is basically what I carried. As you can tell, the screwdrivers are poking out here. This is a Victorinox hiker, okay? This has one big blade, which doesn't really lock back that well. One small blade that's razor sharp. It has a saw that I've actually used modern day on a ferro rod, but a saw can be used for a lot of different things. If you're trying to get into a vehicle, search people or whatever, trying to break into certain houses, a saw comes in handy. Can opener, bottle opener / screwdriver. It's a pretty good tool. And then self-defense, worst case scenario, you take the awl that you can make holes of wood, put it in your knuckles, and you can fire it off. So decent tool. The thing I use the most on this tool, even to this day, with all of my Swiss Army knives, is a toothpick. Eat barbecue a lot, live in the Midwest, toothpick it up, bro. So that's that. Lighter. So modern day, we know you wrap Gorilla Tape around it, and now you have tinder. I was never worried about starting a fire my whole time in the military. Reason was, at Camp Pendleton, there was a burn ban, so you could never start a fire. 2, it's not tactical at all. When you're in the military, you're trained not to be seen, not to be heard, not to be smelled. And reason 3, or 4 or 5, whatever it is, you get a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds messing around with fire, you're gonna start a forest fire and burn the whole place down. Okay, so fire is not a good idea unless you absolutely have to do it. I see a lot of survival videos talk about survival's #1 thing. Survival's dangerous. Survival can be illegal. fire is dangerous. Fire can be illegal in certain places, and you can do way more damage. If you want to survive, like the military, like the Marines, you carry gear that's going to keep you warm in cold environments, okay? You understand what the weather is going to be like in that environment, and then you carry extra layers of clothing. Everything is about layering. So in every pack I ever had, I had extra socks, extra shirts, extra thermals, tops and bottoms, wool socks, right? Neck gaiter. Trapping my body heat from my mouth is going to warm up my whole face. I still wear this shoveling in -degree weather in the Midwest, and it works just as good. Covers ears, covers nose, right? So fire is a great thing. It's fun. It's cool for a campfire. But if you're just out living life, starting a fire is probably not something you're going to do. Chapstick. I always carry chapstick. Now, chapstick can assist with a fire because it's petroleum based, but also in a hot environment, it's nice to put something on your lips when you're dehydrated. It keeps them feeling good, not cracking. Also, we use this on zippers that won't zip or unzip. Maybe they're stuck. It lubricates them. Okay, chapstick. One of the most important things that people overlook, and when I see people talking about bug out bags, survival gear, here's a space blanket, this. If you're gonna go out, whether you're a Marine, a soldier, a hunter, anyone going to the woods, anyone going fishing, anyone going hiking, someplace that there might be harsh environments or there might be enemy around, you need gloves. Guys, we don't realize this, but if you're out in the woods, if you're out in Iraq, if you're out fighting, and you damage your hands, you can't make fire, you can't collect water, you can't drink water. These are the only hands you have, and protecting these hands are the most important thing in the world. In a cold environment, we've all felt it if we live in a cold place. When your hands get cold, you can't do anything. Dexterity is lost. Gloves protect that. Good gloves save lives, bottom line. So hydration. Nowadays, they'll talk about, hey, you gotta carry a metal water bottle so you can boil water. That's fantastic, I do that. In the Marine Corps, this is what you carry. This is the bladder inside of a camelback. I had to turn my camelback in. Just like any other military gear, when you're getting out, you turn it back in. You don't keep it. Some stuff you can keep, but most of the expensive stuff, they reuse it. Carrying water on you in a light, easy way, very, very important. I recommend camelbacks. I recommend carrying a camelback and carrying some, little water tablets that's gonna disinfect it. Once again, starting a fire is the last thing we wanna do, even though these survival experts say it's the first thing you wanna do. Starting a fire, last thing you wanna do, minimize your footprint, be tactical, and don't have a safety issue. So basic things I carried: lighter, chapstick, multi-tool, which I used that, and it's kind of fun to do. Basic little utility knife, always have a cover, gloves, belt, big ass pouch so I could have my extra stuff. Never go into the woods without boots. If you don't protect your feet, you're gonna die. That's pretty much it. Until next time, keep moving forward and Semper Fi.